Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? I haven't done a video like this, I don't think in a long time, maybe never. I'm just sitting on my porch, on my office porch. We have a little office in our backyard, if you didn't know that. Just like sitting in the corner of our yard, and it's just one of those sheds that turn into an office. But I had to come out here and let's just do a little smoking of the good old cigar today. But as I get this cut and as I get this lit, I wanted to just discuss this with you, especially during the Christmas season, the good old holiday season, the pressures of being a dude. Specifically, I'll just speak for men, but no doubt does this apply to both men and women. But again, I don't like speaking for the other gender and the different chemical reactions that happen in your brain versus mine and emotions, because I know they are entirely different, and that's real. Besides the point, I wanted to speak to this fact that there's this invisible pressure that happens on a guy, especially if he has a family, he's married, and that's what I'm speaking to, that circumstance. Now, you will fit in a different circumstance. I get that. That's fine, okay? But I'm going to speak to that scenario, and you can fit yourself in wherever you need to. This pressure of being a man is interesting. It's this feeling of, like, trying to get the holiday in place and get the right Christmas presents and make the money and make sure it's taken care of. And what I've found is myself is this. I put this weird pressure on myself because my wife says we've always encouraged each other to share each other's dreams. It goes from dream sharing to she'll express, hey, I want this thing, or I wish I had that thing. And then when she expresses that she wants that thing, in my head, I turn it into what do I need to do to get her that thing. And so then I go from she's just going from trying to express herself and her dreams to then it goes in my head to, oh, I have to figure out how to get that for her. And if she knew every time that she said that, and she does know that, but like every time she said that I am a weirdo and I put this invisible meaning she doesn't see the pressure that instantly goes inside of me, but not because she's putting the pressure, it's because I put the pressure. I have something to prove to her. And so I feel like we try to prove, especially during the holiday season, that we're gonna go get something so we can make this thing because they had a dream or we both had a thing and an idea, and now it's time to put the pressure on. And so for me, I'm a business owner that uses marketing and sales to get what I want. And just to be very blunt, right? I get what I want by giving others what they want first, just to be clear. It's not like I'm trying to go steal something from what I want. That sounds bad. But the point is here's what happens in my brain. And I just wanted to express this, and you guys can tell me if you feel this way. Here it is. Christy tells me, hey, let's go do this thing after the new year. And I'm like, or for Christmas. And I'm like, okay, well, I've got the bills paid. So that's a start. And I know some of you watching this, you may not even have the damn bills paid. So even more pressure for you, right? I've been there. And the bills are paid. All, mortgage is paid, cars are paid, whatever debts are paid, food, you have water, you have your shelter, you have everything you need. Okay, great. But now I need to get this extra thing because I want to prove to her and to myself that I can get that thing. And I go you can apply this to however you look at it and whatever your career is what I mean by this. But I start thinking, okay, in order for that to happen, I got to get, X amount of sales. And let's just do hypothetical numbers that don't make any sense whatsoever, but I like to give some context. So let's say I need 10 sales of that thing to get to the goal of income, this extra income that I need for it. And so then I say, okay, in order to get 10 sales, I need to probably be on about 20, 25 conversations, phone calls or a Zoom call or something like that. In order to generate those, I need to have probably at least 30 people apply or ask to speak with me, because I know how the show rate drops off as well. Whoever asks says they want to talk, not everybody shows up, not everyone was serious. So let's say I need 30 people. Well, if I'm going to get 30 applications or 30 requests and scheduled appointments, well, that means I need to get this many people to see my offer. Let's just call it 100 people to to see the offer, 150 people to see the offer. Okay, out of those 150 people to even see the offer, I probably need to send 10,000 emails. I'm making this up. And out of those 10,000 emails and this many text messages and this many social media posts, I will then get my goal. If I send that, and it'll lead all the way down to these 10 sales. And so suddenly my brain starts churning. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, what's the offer? What's this? What's this? And I put this pressure on myself. But here's the thing. My wife never asked me to do that. She simply said, hey, I would love if we had this thing. What if she understood how much I go through? Not me, like she's putting me through anything. It's how much a man's brain, I think a lot of us work like this, where we're gonna work extra hours, we're gonna work all night, we're gonna do whatever the freak it takes to get it, right? And I think that it's interesting that we think we have to prove to our wives or our spouses or ourselves or both that we can do that thing. And I think it's honorable at first, initially. We think we're doing something honorable. What's interesting, as I was talking with a friend today via text, and he's like, hey, and he noticed I say no to a lot of things. I've made a point to make sure that our scope of work stays the right thing. I'm not going to say yes. I'm not going to do you any extra favors beyond what's in what we talked about and the scope of work when we're working together. And he says, why are you more like that now? It seems like, essentially he's just saying, it seems like you got your shit together a little better. And I just said, look, I used to try to do this and this and this, and I found out it wasn't worth it. Found out I could still do what I need to do and say no to more things, and I'm happier. Essentially, that's what it was. And he responded back saying, yeah, I feel like I've tried to prove things. I'm not even sure what I'm trying to prove or who I'm trying to prove it to. And that's what made me even want to create this video. And I guess what I'm getting at is this, whatever all this rant is about. It's this. Know what you're trying to prove. Know that it's not worth proving. My response to him after he said that was this. I've realized that after trying to prove it to myself and to my wife, those are the two people that I think I've tried to prove it the most. And if I was being honest, there's everybody growing up, even my own mother, trying to prove it to her, trying to prove it to my in-laws, because their daughter, their youngest baby, married this entrepreneur that didn't even know he's an entrepreneur. And my mother-in-law and father-in-law and their whole family's all college, all degrees, which is fantastic, but that's not me. And so, you know, I felt this inherent thing, and probably, I mean, definitely some pressure from them, whether on purpose or not, was to go get my degree, go get this, go prove that I'm, you know, worthy to be married to this girl, this daughter of yours. And there's all those deep reasons, right? And finally, I just decided to say, the hell with it. Now, I don't need to prove shit to you. When I say to you, I mean anyone in my head. They more than likely weren't asking me to prove anything, including myself. I had to talk to like that. And man, as soon as I did this is about 5 years ago, it transformed my entire outlook on happiness and joy. And it's taken a minute. So that transition started happening just over 5 years ago, but it took like 3 years to kind of settle in. So it's not like I just snapped in overnight. And over the past 2 years, the most incredible joy has come from that. The most simple things. And I told Sean, who I was texting with, look, Sean, I don't have to prove to myself anything each day. I don't prove it to my wife. I don't give a shit. I don't need to prove anything to her. She can witness that I'm a good person for her. And if she can't see that, then that's up to her to figure that out. I don't need to prove anything to her. It sounds counterintuitive. It sounds like, you know, the opposite. People will talk about hold a higher standard for yourself. And although you should, although you can, my standard is that I better be a very good, happy person for anyone I'm going to be around. And I'm going to do what it takes to be that. That's it. And so I was telling Sean, I go, what's funny is the most simple things for me at this point make me happy every day. The most simple. Nothing actually hardly costs money except like a cigar. Basic food needs water, right? And a cigar. The basic foundational things. And what I told him, I go, Sean, what's funny is this. I don't think it costs me any more than $5,000 a month to be completely happy in the formula that I just showed you. The things that make me happy, I listed off a few things and said, these are what makes me happy. I could die happy every single day if I did these things every day, or at least part of that day. And that was less than $5,000 a month in order to maintain that lifestyle, including my mortgage and anything else. And what was crazy is that I've always thought it was gonna take at least $25,000, 5 times more, to have that same joy. And I put the pressure on myself to do that. Now, I make the money, I can make that much money, and I can skyrocket beyond that. And I'm gonna sound like a cocky prick, but I've done that. But what's different is it didn't make me any happier, because I was doing all the wrong things to chase it. I was trying to prove something to myself and to others, and there was nothing to prove. The moment I stopped trying to prove it is the moment I became happy. Is the moment I started finding what made me happy. Let's just say that. I didn't become happy completely right then, but I finally accepted the fact that it's up to me. And I just started deciding what those things are. I wrote them down, and I started just doing them. I wasn't even sure if they were gonna make me happy. But I'll say a few things, like smoking a cigar at night, and either talking to somebody I enjoy, like somebody in my family, my son and my wife, or anybody, business partners, online or in person. I sit on my back porch and I watch the sunset go down. That's it. If I do that daily, I am happy with my day. There's nothing else that needs to happen. I might even watch a movie if there's no one to talk to. There's a little pull-down screen on my back porch and a little projector, and I watch a movie. And that's what makes me happy. That's one of the most happy things I look forward to every day. I also just like creating, writing, art. I like that. It's fun. It feels good. It clears my mind, or whatever it does, it makes me happy. The other thing is just being outside and moving. I don't even mean exercise. I just mean moving outside. A walk with the dogs, like playing catch with my son. A walk at the beach with my wife. It doesn't really matter. Walking in the backyard by myself. Those are the types of things that make me happy. I can do those every day, and I literally sit there at the end of the day and say, wow, I'm truly happy, thank you. And I'm looking forward to one more. So thank you, God, for this day, because I just got to experience one more. I just watched the sunset go down. I just got to see that. And I'm hoping I wake up for one more tomorrow. So thank you. And that's gone on for about 2 years. And I've never been happier. And I've lost over 70 pounds because of that. Everything up to there, when I was trying to prove everything, I gained over 100 pounds, by the way. That's a whole nother story. And now I'm in much better shape. I'm still on my way there. And physically, mentally, spiritually, everything has gotten better because I'm not trying to prove crap to anybody, including myself. So that's my encouragement to you, gentlemen. Stop trying to prove anything. Drop it all. Figure out what makes you happy and practice that daily. Will you still have to work hard and earn some money in the way that you know how right now? Yeah, you're still going to, and it's probably going to make you a bit miserable. That's okay. Just stop and make sure you counterbalance that with the things you know make you happy. If you like smoking a cigar, smoke a cigar. Come smoke a cigar with me. If you don't smoke cigars and you like doing something else, do that. If you like swimming instead of running, swim. If you like bike riding, I have a good friend that loves biking, and he's always biking every morning, and that's his thing, like road biking, that is. I hate road biking. Like, I've tried it, and it's not fun. Others like to run miles and miles. My younger brother right now is all into running, and man, I don't hate running, but I certainly wouldn't wish my best day to be running. What I like is doing things that are a little bit challenging, sometimes a lot challenging, but what I love is art. I like being outside, I like nature, and that's it. It's pretty simple. My challenge to you again is just to make it that simple. Figure out what makes you happy. You'll find, by the way, that your budget can probably afford it right now, and you've been wasting your time on that. All right, that's my message to you. I've got nothing more. I'm gonna go smoke the rest of this cigar.